Alright there, your old pal Yorkie here, bringing you another episode of My Humble Opinion, where I have a look at the Humble Monthly Choice Bundle. See what's on there, have a bit of gameplay of each of the games over the month, and see what I think of them, see if any of them are coming to the channel, give you a chance to have a brief glance at them and see what you think. The intention isn't to have long gameplays, it's just like you'd pick up a book on the shelf. And there's so many books you don't know which to buy. Well, there's so many games. It's just the same. You got to grab me in that first paragraph, that first 5-10 minutes. Doesn't mean that answers everything about the game. Got to grab me then. So, headlining this time, Mafia Definitive Edition, and instantly they disappoint me. I'm not one for reboots, relaunches, reworkings, etc. Give me a new game. This was launched in 2002, but it's been remastered. Part 1 of the Mafia crime saga, 1930, Lost Heaven, Illinois. Being made from the ground up, right through the ranks of Mafia in the Prohibition era of organised crime. After running with the mob, cab driver Tommy Angelo is thrust into a deadly underworld. Initially uneasy about falling in with the Salieri crime family, Tommy soon finds that the rewards are too big to ignore. Play a mob movie, live the life of Prohibition era gangster, and rise through the ranks of the Mafia. Lost Heaven, Illinois, recreated 1930s cityscape, filled with interwar architecture, cars, and culture to see, hear, and interact with. Faithfully recreated. Standard story. I mean, I like that they expanded it. Gameplay and original score. This is the Mafia you remembered, and much more. I'm not impressed, because I said I'm not keen on remasters, but we will see. I played Mafia 2 a little bit. I didn't get far with it, actually. When it came out, which of course is a long time ago now. Let's see what this has got from 2002.
Don Salieri wants you to know that he's very grateful. So if you ever need anything, maybe a loan, work, don't hesitate to ask. Don doesn't forget his friends.
You stay straight with me, you're gonna be living the high life, Tom.
Hey, Tommy!
But you abuse my trust.
Our business has rules.
We do not allow mad dogs to run wild in our neighborhood.
Okay.
This is the way this city works!
If you cross Salieri and his boys, you're dead.
Alright.
Your neck's gotta be aching from all that looking over your shoulder you're doing.
You, Tommy. You could run this town someday.
Tom, don't do nothing you don't want to be remembered for, you hear me?
But
I mean,
too late for that.
I will say, even though I'm not a fan of remasters, the snippets it showed make me interested in seeing more, so I'm looking forward to the little run on the channel, the little gameplay try this month. And I'll decide if I want to bring it or not. I'm tentative at the moment because it is a remaster from 2002. But it's a remaster of a game I never played. I played a bit of Mafia 2. Didn't play any of Mafia 1. Oh. Does have an 87% positive rating. Could be good. We'll have to see. $40 game. Alright, Iron Harvest 2 is the next headliner or near headliner. This one does not seem to have a video. Why? 73% mostly positive, so it's not even rated that highly. Iron Harvest 1920 plus. Iron Harvest is a real-time strategy RTS set in the alternate reality of 1920 plus, just after the end of the Great War. The game lets you control giant diesel-punk mechs, combining epic single-player and co-op campaigns. Well, the single-player is what I'd be playing. As well as skirmishes with intense action on the battlefield for multiplayer fans. Iron Harvest is a classic real-time strategy game fans have been waiting for. I don't know when it was released. Not anything about it, to be honest. Except it's 73%, which, I mean, that's mostly positive, that's okay. Tradition classes with scientific and technological progress, while Europe is still recovering from the brutal battles of World War. Cities are being rebuilt, and in the countryside, the era of the Iron Harvest has begun. Farmers are uncovering the remains of the majestic walking machines that had fought on the battlefields of the Great War. And it looked a lot different if you had these things, wouldn't it? In the midst of the chaos a new threat appears that will put Europe's very existence at risk. Secret forces are putting everything they can towards destabilization of entire countries. Interesting background. Determined to set the world on fire once again and finally seize control. For what purpose? Well, I mean, seize control, but you don't want control of a total mess. Lead dozens of different unit types into battle, carefully utilize cover and blast entire buildings to shreds. Take your time to come up with a plan which allows for a wide range of tactics, including a stealth approach. Mechs. We got mechs. Lots of them. Which could be a good or bad thing. World War I would certainly look different with these, because you wouldn't have had the bunkers and stuff, would you? You wouldn't have had the trench warfare as much. More mobility and everything here. Experience an epic overarching story spanning more than 20 missions over 3 campaigns. Join 9 charismatic heroes and their beastly companions in their adventures across Europe. Team up with a friend and master all campaigns side by side in co-op. Well, the one in full control. I mean, the graphics look okay. I'm not sure what's cinematics and what's actual gameplay, to be honest. That one looks more cinematics. Command 3 diverse factions with over 40 unit types and 9 heroes. Okay, units and heroes. With unique abilities. Set up skirmish and multiplayer matches any way you want. Configure personal game interface and choose your favourite input control. Competitive multiplayer with ladders, ranked. I don't care about that. Conquer resource points, build your base, and place fortifications to protect your unit production. Search. Could be interesting. Not necessarily my style of thing. I'm not much of a war gamer these days. I was at one point. We'll see how it goes. But it's 73%. It's mostly positive. It's not super high rated. Give it a try and see what it looks like. Project Winter. This one. Betray your friends in this 8-person multiplayer focused on social deception. Okay, this is one that I'm probably not going to be able to test. Unless it's got a training section for the solo. I only play solo games, generally speaking. I might occasionally play an MMORPG, but I generally play even them solo. Communication and teamwork is essential to the survivor's ultimate goal of escape. Gather resources, repair structures, and brave wilderness together. Just beware that there are traitors within the group. Will be steadily gaining strength as the match progresses. Traitors' only goal is to stop the survivors by any means necessary. But why? I mean, they're lost in this desolate winterland unless they're going to be flown out. What's in it for them? Features: escaped survivors. As a survivor amongst a group of strangers, you have to collect resources, battle the elements, and complete a series of tasks in order to call in one of the several rescue vehicles. Hidden roles. Amongst the group of survivors lurk unidentified traitors. The traitors are known to each other, but not to the survivors. Their goal is to stop the survivors from escaping without being identified and killed. If they stop survivors escaping, aren't they stopping themselves escaping? And if they can get someone in there, rescue them, can't they get weapons in there? I don't know. Seems a little bit illogical, but it's the suspension of disbelief, isn't it? There are several ways to communicate with other players, including proximity-based voice chat, private voice chat, radio channel, etc., etc. Yeah, this is all multiplayer by the look of it. I don't do multiplayer. This probably won't even be tested. If there is a training section or a solo, then I'll test it. Otherwise, I have no idea. Let's watch a video.
Survival is hell, even at the best of times. But it gets easier when you're not alone.
Okay.
We can do anything if we work together.
Alright. And the graphics are cute enough, they're okay. Certainly serviceable.
Escape and freedom is within our reach.
So it's like a more detailed Among Us, I guess, type of thing.
Just as long as we remember.
Ew, messy.
To trust no one.
Yeah. It looks like it could be fun to play, but it looks like, as I said, if it's purely multiplayer, I won't be playing it. We'll see how it goes. We'll see if I can get it tested on channel. If not, well, I have said ahead of time. Rebel Cops. Rebel Cops is a spin-off game from This Is... Oh, no. Oh, God, that was a game that offered so much potential, and I hated playing it. This is the Police. You can't skip the narrative section. I don't know if this is true of the, Rebel Cops or not. There were very few... There were save points that just weren't useful. Because of my real life situation, I have to be able to save whenever I need. This does not sound good. Even the XCOM, what I'm gonna call it, type action here, it was okay. What a little I tried of it when I played this Police wasn't groundbreaking. Lead a ragtag squad of cops in rebellion against their town's new criminal power, and see how long you can hold out when you're constantly short of supplies, and a single shot can stop a cop in his can cost a cop his life. You're not exactly the police, but you're the only ones on the side of justice. Victor Zuev, a criminal crime boss, new on the scene, has quickly taken the town of Ripton by the throat. The community's leaders and even the local police have surrendered to his will. A master of intimidation and blackmail, Zuev has seized every major business in town, all of which he now controls as his own private fiefdom. But an outlaw band of renegade cops refuses to bow. With little hope of success, they fight on for justice and for the whole of their town. Gunfights are thrilling, but stealth is the key. You're fighting a guerrilla war, outmanned and outgunned. Use concealment and cover, approach the enemy quietly and take them down before they can raise the alarm. You have at your disposal an arsenal of non-lethal weapons and equipment, as well as special tactical perks, which you can unlock as you upgrade your rebels. True, sometimes violence seems inevitable, but when the time comes, don't hesitate. Neither you nor the criminals have health bars. When someone is shot, they'll bleed out quickly, and getting a bullet in the head means instant death. Explore, scavenge, and watch your back. Rebel Cops features not only compact operations where you need to fight for every inch of ground, but a large open location to explore, the sandbox levels. Search each room, crack open safes and vaults, try to get into the inaccessible areas, and grab everything that looks useful. Stay together and proceed with caution, or accept the risks. Fan out and try to explore every corner. Oh, the other thing I want to say, as I say, you couldn't skip through the narrative, it seemed. The narrative was bloody boring, to be honest. On This Is the Police, I didn't enjoy it at all. Take the high road or the low road. Zuev's mercilessness is the key to his power. Can you defeat him without playing it by his rules? Will you answer the needs of the desperate townspeople, even if it means putting the whole operation at risk? Will you spare civilian guards who are only doing their jobs? Only doing your job, yeah. Many's the war criminal who said that. Some say that in war you have to do whatever it takes to survive, but remember, reputation is more valuable than bad blood on the street can easily put your good name in the mud. Merchants will refuse to do business with you, and even some of your own people might turn their backs on you. Alright, it's 77% mostly positive, so it's got a decent enough score. But it's a $10 game. It's very much a budget game. But if it's anything like This Is a Police, if they haven't solved the things that made me hate that game, I am not going to be happy with it. Okay. Next up, Rustler. Isn't that an adult magazine? I'm probably wrong. Ground Theft Horse. Okay, you've got my attention. That's amusing. Rustler is an open-world top-down action game paying tribute to the good old GTA style and gameplay, fusing it with historically inaccurate medieval setting. Okay, you've got me chuckling at this point. I'll give you that. Player's the guy whose parents apparently were too lazy to give him a proper name. Experience feudal injustice, inquisition, witch hunting, and join the grand tournament. Meet valiant yet incredibly stupid knights. Does that mean he's got bad AI? Deliberately so. Complete a wide variety of twisted missions and quests. I don't give a damn about the plot and bring mayhem to the villages and cities. Choose to go on foot or by stolen horse. Fight with a sword or pick a fancy automatic crossbow. All that spiced up with an inappropriate Monty Python-inspired sense of humour. Okay. You know what I don't like about that? Let us decide, the players, whether it's really Monty Python-like. When someone tries to model themselves on someone else, quite often they just fail badly. I'm not saying Rustler will, but we'll see. Be a bold, bald thug in medieval sandbox. Rustler's world is filled with humour, anachronisms, and pop culture references. I've been towed for parking in a no-horse zone. Want to do some cage fights in medieval martial arts arena? Bit of mixed martial arts. Or maybe pimp a horse a little. Pimp my ride? Okay. How about joining the Round Earthers set? Wreak havoc in it, which, I mean, that's a bit silly, Round Earthers, because we've known it's been a globe Earth, which I assume they're referencing there, as opposed to flat Earth. Known of a globe Earth for millennia. Wreak havoc in top-down old-school combat. Use swords, spears, turds, and crossbows. Want to get more efficient? Try holy hand grenades. The holy hand grenade of Antioch. 4 at 3 shall be the number of the counting. And the number of the counting shall be 3. Nothing's more deadly than who's galloping in your direction. Or drifting a cart. Okay. I'm intrigued. Screw everyone over and win half the kingdom. As a poor peasant, you really need to get creative in order to win the grand tournament. Form weird alliances, double-cross your foes, and dig up dinosaur skeletons in a light, easy-to-understand and hard-to-empathise story. Hire bards to aid you musically in battle. Please, not Robin's minstrels. A bard can be your sweaty personal radio. Not only will he not leave your side even in the midst of the bloodiest conflicts, he will also change the song's dynamic depending on the action on screen. Moreover, you can express a desire to change the tune by punching him in the face. A lot of horsing around. There's Frostland, Country Balls, Heroes, Aerospace. Not Country. Okay, so this has got a 83, so this is into a very positive range game. And honestly, I'm intrigued. It's $25, so it's still budget range. An indie. Don't know when it was released, but yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm looking forward to trying this one. It might be garbage. I'll have to see. Alright, next up, the Henry Stickmin collection. Okay, never heard of it. It's a Stickman thing. The Henry Stickmin collection is a Newgrounds Choose Your Own Path classic reborn and revitalised. This 6-game epic culminates in multiple, entirely canon, extremely different endings. Each step, so it looks like it's a narrative, might be fitting for Tales Over Coffee. Each step of the journey has you choose from options such as a teleporter, or calling anybody, Charles, to help you out. Correct choices will move the story forward, but incorrect choices lead to a fail. Puzzle, guesswork, okay, whatever. If you get to the end of your first try, you're doing it wrong. Failing is half the fun. Okay, we'll see about that. An old series remastered. The Henry Stickmin games have seen some good times on the internet, but age has not been kind. Breaking the Bank has been completely reanimated from scratch, escaping the prison, stealing the diamond, infiltrating the airship, and fleeing complex of all of their backgrounds and sound effects redone. It sounds like it's a really old, simplistic set of adventure narrative games. Final game completing the mission is featured in this collection. It's brand new, never been seen online. Cap off the series with a game 3 times bigger than any of the previous games. Could be fun. 98% overwhelmingly positive. That sounds good. Of course, how many have said that? It's $15, so it's very much budget. Yeah, I'm intrigued. It's another I'm intrigued to try. I don't know if I'm going to like it or not, but it could be interesting. That one, and that one definitely give me some hope for this collection. Those really don't. Farmer's Dynasty. Farmer's Dynasty offers a totally new gaming experience by mixing elements of a life simulation with role-playing elements and classic farming sim game. Remember the good old days visiting your grandfather's farm? Oh, my grandfather didn't own a farm. The time when you were sitting on your grandfather's tractor? No. Together with him driving around and working on the fields. You are back on your farm now. The past years have been full of work for you in the city, but you never forgot the good old time. The dream always lived in you to rebuild your grandfather's farm and start your own dynasty. Let the dream come true. Live, build, farm. Enjoy your new unique mix of farming, constructing, and life sim. This could be interesting. I like life sims. I like, base construction, things like that. I've enjoyed playing. I don't think this will be this level of farming sim, but I've enjoyed playing. God, what's the big one? Farming Simulator? I don't know. 2019. It was. I played in 2018. Anyway, repair and renovate your farm. Repair roofs, stables, and sheds. Renovate facades. Okay, so you've got base building, base construction. Interact with extensive open world and collect social points. Be open for new acquaintances. Helpfulness and friendliness pays off, and sooner or later you'll find your partner for life and maybe even have kids. Alright, so it's not just. It's life sim with family aspect. Complete challenging quests in your environment and enjoy the country life in its full splendour. This I'm hopeful of. Take control of agricultural machinery and tractors, whether old or new. It's up to you and your farming and economic skills, whether you have old, rusty, or modern equipment to work fields. Enjoy the bird's eye view of your farm. Yeah, just means top down. Alright.
My grandfather left me his ruined farm. Well, I had to start somewhere. I worked hard, from dusk till dawn.
Is it top down or first person?
I gave the farm all the time and care it needed, and eventually it started giving back.
Well, that's life.
Graphics are serviceable, not great.
Let it grow stronger every day.
I do hope this isn't a copywritten song.
Trust me, there aren't many things more rewarding than coming home from a hard day's work at your own field, or a greenhouse, or a coop, or a barn. With so much to do, I definitely needed some help. Luckily, I didn't have to look far. Yvonne, Janet, Becky. Eventually, we became close friends. Some became family. I'm taking it day by day, slowly finding my way around.
$30.
There's always something exciting around the corner, and I can't wait to discover it all.
All right. Fishing, okay. If this is gameplay, it looks okay.
But it became so much more.
Of course, execution trumps luck, so we'll have to see what it actually plays like. 70%, it's relatively low. I mean, that's almost down to mixed. That gives me pause, but overall, what I've seen so far makes me want to see more. So that I'm looking forward to. Between the Stars from the Inside. I think I own Between the Stars, but it might not be from the inside, I'm not sure. Early access. Oh, yeah, I do own Between the Stars. Wasn't impressed. Between the Stars is a space action game, well, sort of, with RPG growth and real-time combat that places you at the helm of an interstellar cruiser. Your mission will be to protect the civilized world from the Children of the Sun, a faction that dominates the border planets in the known universe. In order to undertake your mission, challenge blah blah blah. Is this what I already own, or is this, an expansion of it? I'm not sure. Unlock, upgrade, personalize, and buy different playable ships from their systems. Create a captain and develop them throughout the adventure. Level them up and acquire different attributes depending on your decisions. Explore the stellar map and its events generated to a procedural universe. Visit space stations and planets across different sectors that make up the galaxy. Hire and upgrade your crew in order to face the danger. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this sounds very much like what I have played, although I don't remember it being called From the Inside. Hundreds of text-based events that will pit your capacity, etc. And it's early access, and it's a long time since I played it, if this is what I'm thinking it is. It's got very positive ratings now. Honestly, when I tried playing it... Put this on. It had a lot of potential.
We've been complacent for too long.
But I got bored quick.
Now. The children of the sun will no longer be led by an unworthy puppeteer. It's time to cut those cables and strangle our detractors with them to the last. Surrender or die.
I think it is what I played.
Status critical. I'll end you, Nartos! Systems completely destroyed.
Releasing on May 28th.
Light your way, Commander.
I'm pretty sure it is what I played. Now, I say, if this is what I'm thinking, I got bored playing it really quickly. But if they've made it more interesting in the year or so since I've played it, that could now be a really good game. It certainly offered a lot of potential. So we'll see what a bit of gameplay looks like. Take E. Stop resting on my keyboard, will you please? Next up, Retrowave. They've had this on before, I think. Alright, this one is a cheapo, isn't it? With $2. That's not much of a game. Neon lights, palm trees, synthwave, 80s supercars, fading up and down an endless highway. Welcome to the world of Retrowave. Listen to synthwave, retrowave. Most people have had this feeling of nostalgia for an era they didn't know or that never existed. The Retrowave is very much inspired by the 80s, but is mostly an idealized futuristic version of the 80s. This game offers the player a unique experience of being immersed in this wonderful world for at least a few moments. In Retrowave, you will first start with one car. Then you will be able to upgrade it or buy other cars, etc. Above all, a visual and sound experience that will delight fans of the genre and will surely make those who don't know it yet discover this wonderful universe. At $2, this is about as budget as it gets. So I'm not hoping for much from this. I expect it's a really short game with very little going for it. Let's have a quick look at the video. It's reminiscent of Outlast with worse graphics and okay music, which might be copyrighted music, so I might have copyright challenges, which means it won't be on channel anyway. The initial gameplay test will. We'll see how it does. Alright, so that's one I don't hope for anything from, but we'll see. Finally, Midnight Protocol. This one doesn't have a video again. What's it looking like? 95% very positive at a $15 budget game. Tactical narrative driven RPG set in the near future, filled with labour automation, big data, controversial AI applications, legally grey zones, and the nebulous nature of online identity. You assume the mantle of a prominent hacktivist, Data, who recently got doxed and has been targeted for blackmail by a shadowy branch of government. You interact with the virtual environment through your home terminal that requires nothing more than your keyboard. Hang your hat. Will you respect others' privacy and bank accounts, or leave no stone unturned? Midnight Protocol allows you to play as the hacker you want to be. Help the police track down a rogue hacker or blackmail a desperate husband trying to recover dubious pictures. Gain black, grey and white hat reputation to change the direction of the story based on your choices. Immersion overload. Midnight Protocol's design focuses on immersing you in a world of digital warfare without complicated hacking mechanisms. Your keyboard is your weapon. Type commands. TikTok, you're going to have to go down. You're getting a little overexcited, my boy. Type commands to eliminate or evade security programs, and your keystrokes become part of the soundtrack. Nice deck. Cracking a digital safe or extracting data requires careful planning. Pay the troll toll. Use digital jackhammers, cloaks and daggers to combat cybersecurity. Buy new programs or hardware on the black market, etc. This reminds me of the game that Silent Yorkie is playing at the moment, which is Hacker Simulator. Oh, it's different. I wonder if it's better or worse. Take on dozens of side quests filled with Easter eggs and references. Gather additional intel on your targets before you start a mission. And play some hacker chests to wind down. Midnight Protocol, jam-packed with optional missions. Okay. Okay. Hey, I don't know what this has got to do with hacking. Alright. I'm intrigued. I want to see what it's like. I don't hold up a lot of hope for it just now, especially if this is how they see hacking. Because it isn't. Alright. I don't hold up a lot of hope for it, but it could be fun. It could be fun. Alright, that's the end of the looking at this. Let's see. Let's just assess where we are. Mafia. I'm wanting it to change my mind. I don't like remasters and reworks and so on, so I don't hold up much hope for it. But it looked like it could be an interesting story, so who knows? Iron Harvest didn't have fantastic ratings, and I'm not much of a wargamer, but it's intriguing enough that I'm looking forward to that. Not hoping for much. I don't think it'll come to the channel, but we never know. Project Winter, it sounds like I won't even be able to test because it sounds like it's all multiplayer. Rebel Cops, oh god, not This Is the Police, please. Ugh. Rustler made me chuckle. Keep making me chuckle. You've got a winner. Henry Stickman collection. I want to see what it's like, but I don't really hold up much hope. Farmer's Dynasty. That 70% makes me worried about how good it's going to be. But if it's as intriguing as it looked from the description to me, it might be right up my alley. Between the Stars, I think, is something I've played before and got bored with, but that's going on a year back, so it might well have advanced to a good point at this point. Retro Wave doesn't sound like it's going to be much of a game at all, to be perfectly honest. Midnight Protocol, I want to see it. I don't hold up a lot of hope. So, the only two that really hit me in the I really want to see this are Rustler and Farmer's Dynasty. One of those in particular, Farmer's Dynasty, doesn't have great ratings. Last month's Humble Choice, for me, not for everyone, was a winner chicken dinner. I don't think this one's going to be. I think this is going to be on the flop side of things. Also, I bought my games off the Steam Winter Sale, so the 20% discount's not going to be relevant to me either. So, but given that most times I get something good out of a Humble Bundle, and most times the 20% discount helps me too, I'm okay with one or two that could turn into flops, and I'm willing to have my mind changed. Right, I've been Yorkie, you've been fantastic. The Chihuahua was here, but got a little bit overhyped. And this has been my humble opinion. See you on.